Greetings! Welcome to the Devlog for experimental build 20 of update 120 of hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades. We're going to start off as always with a quick sound check. Make sure your speakers aren't up too high. Wonderful. So what have we got for you this week? Well, we have got a new scene to go along with the fact that we are bringing H3VR Studio, our custom workshop content tool, to the experimental branch today, along with actually switching on the workshop for content for it, and hoping nothing explodes. So let's take a look at this scene. What's going on here? Well, I have been asked for a long time by folks who like to customize guns, set up various things for a dedicated photo studio scene. So if you're like, oh, this is pretty simple, there's a reason for that. This is designed to be a very simple scene for you to take pictures in. So we're going to pull a number of things out here that we're going to use. We're going to be using our toolbox today. We're going to be using our spectator panel, which has gotten a couple upgrades for it. And yeah, so let's first cover sort of how the scene functions, what's special about it. We have a Photo Studio Tools panel here that allows us to change some things about, you know, the scene based upon what it is we're going to do. It has several lighting presets. This is all real-time lighting, so we're in the day one right now. We can shift it to night here. It gets nice and dim. We've got that nice blue day as night kind of sky. We have blacked out, which just completely turns off the light. You might be like, why is that useful? Well, it allows us to create a studio light like so. So if we wanted to just dramatically light something here, we could do so. Doesn't that look cool? Let's change that back to there so that we can find, where is it? Here we go. Need to delete that. Come on. Oh no! I can't. Oh. You know, I don't know if I actually made a way to delete these. Oh wait. Oh, of course. I can just use That's Rotato Deletos. There we go. Deletos has been deleted. And also for testing purposes, this is guns, lots of guns. This is Fulbright. That's just 100% lighting on diffuse and specular. So between those, you should have a whole bunch of options for grabbing a shot. I also have a bunch of materials. Right now, the wall material setting is changing both the wall and the floor. So we can get some concrete in there. We can get some wood in there. We can get some cool metal panels in there. And, yep. And a grid. So if you have any requests, if you plan to use this scene and would like something, let me know and I can totally add a few more onto this. I'm going to use concrete, as you all know that I'm a concrete sicko. So what we're going to do now is we're going to grab the locker tool. So let's imagine that we wanted to, I don't know, let's not use our 1911. Let's pull something out of the vault. Local vault. Full English. Yeah, here we go. Spawn objects. Took a moment to load that. Oh, you are hideous. I love you. Wonderful. Let's grab our locker tool, which was in our pocket to begin with. What we got to do is we have to set this to physics locked. So when we release it, it's like so. Let's find a nice angle for it relative to the lighting. Yeah, let's actually put it maybe like up against. There we go. Then let's go ahead and grab our spectator panel. Spawn a camera. Like so. I believe, yep. Touchpad click. So as soon as I hit this is going to change our view on the screen to it. So before I do that, I'm going to show. So we can now change the aspect ratio of the image that we're taking. I'm going to leave it 16:9, but that's because that's what's on the screen. We can change the resolution so we can upsample it. So I'm now going to hit Spawned Objects, Studio Cam, enable our preview. There we go. So you should be now seeing the view from this camera. Let's, yeah, there we go. In general, if you're trying to take a sick picture of an object, You tend to want to use a narrow field of view and get the camera further away. I'm trying to see how I want this to look. Yeah, maybe we'll pull it back away from the wall, actually. Let's come back here. You know, maybe go like this with it. Bring our panel. Yeah, there we go. Not perfect. I'm not going to futz with it super long now while you watch me. Almost. There we go. I should add a little stabilization of that. And then let's reduce that FOV. Beautiful. We can crop that. We can crop that in post. Then we hit capture, screenshot. There you have it. Let's go back to our default. You should be seeing my view again. So yeah, so that's how the camera screenshot systems now work. We've got a couple more things planned for this. We're going to have some options for actually dumping out the depth buffer of the image, so you can do some cool visual effects if you're a compositing person, as well as being able to green screen and chroma key this. There's not a green option for the wall because that's actually completely unnecessary. We're going to have the ability to write out a transparent PNG correctly. I just did not get that working in time for today. The other thing that is going on here, which I'm going to need Locker for, is for folks who are creating a custom take and hold character. You want to actually be able to dress, you know, that take and hold character up and show it to folks. But the way our workshop stuff works, we're not ingesting custom images. That's just a pain to work with, bunch of the ways that things can break. So instead, we're going to be doing character hollows. So the way that you can actually build a character hollow is that we can come over here to utility, grab ourselves a Sosig Quinn, like so, grab our Yonk Sosig Quinn panel, select the mannequin. Let's select a cool outfit. Oh, I don't know, H3VR, Metazen Wings fan. Put that on. We can then take that. We can pose our Wings fan in a cool way. Have him sort of like coming back here in a bit of an action pose, like so. Turn the head a little bit to the side like that. And then we can, if we imagine this Sosig Quinn has, twin 1911s, like that, and maybe he likes to operate silently. So we'll grab some suppressors here. Yeah, wonderful. Perfect. And then just grab our locker tool. Oh, come on, lock. I don't know why. There we go. Pick those up. Pose them in a cool way, like so. Ah, come on. There we go. And yeah, there we go. Clear our selection. So there we have our character. We can now go over to take and hold character hollow, click capture hollow, like so. That will now show up in our vault. If we go over to save load here, filter, character hollow, it will just be named the date. So you have to come over here, rename it. Clear, caps, Wings fan, tactical. I'm sure you can hear my squeaky old Vive one there. Boom! Saved name, and then now I can, if I'm using H3VR Studio to make a custom take and hold character where you play as this fellow here, starting with 2 sick pistols, there'll now be a character hollow that actually shows up. I still need to replace the ones in-game with these. I actually have to add some objects to the game to make that happen. But if we jump on over to the take and hold scene, earlier just to test this, I made a copy of Classic Loadout Lewis, but assigned my custom character. So if I select this, check that out. We now have a character hollow that actually appears. I just realized it should be slid a little bit more this way. So this is now, instead of showing a portrait, that shows up here. We're going to strip this out of the interface once I replace them, and every take and hold character will instead have a Sosig hollow portrait like that. So you can see their outfit and get a notion of what kind of cool weapons they're going to spawn with. So, yeah, I hope you folks enjoy that little. Cool. Well, let's jump out of VR and talk about the other stuff that are going on in this update. So, out of VR. Well, the other thing that's going on, clearly, is that we are switching on the workshop button for all of the stuff that you can make using H3VR and H3VR Studio. So for those of you who don't know what that encapsulates, basically anything that you save with the Vault, you can share with other folks. So like if you've customized a whole bunch of different guns and you're like, this is my gross, awful, way too many attachments gun collection, you can package those all up. You can take a cool screenshot with our new photo tools, put it up, write some descriptions for them, throw that package up on the workshop. Let's say you make a cool little scenario using Game Planner, you can do the exact same thing. And then lastly, if you're an ambitious sort and want to make a whole take and hold character, you can author all of the different data types, or just take an existing take and hold character and just put your own spin on it. And you can, decorate a Sosig Quinn, affix it to your character, upload it, and see how it plays. So, as you might imagine, there are a lot of systems underlying all this. We have tested things pretty well with a private testing group, but the moment you throw a much larger group of people at something, a whole bunch of things can go horribly wrong. So I hope that isn't the case, but I definitely ask your patience and willingness to file detailed bug reports if something goes wrong in our Discord. In our Discord, you can file a bug report. You can even attach a problematic file from your vault if something is breaking or going wrong. As I said, this is a scary moment. It's part of the reason we wanted to do this in advance of the 1.0 update. Just get this part of it really locked in. Now, note, all of this stuff will only work on the experimental branch of the game. So everyone will be able to see the workshop, but if you are downloading things off the H3VR workshop and are just running the main branch, those files will install, but the game, they can't do anything with them. All of the code that actually loads and utilizes those is only on the experimental branch. Just be aware, if you are switching over to the experimental branch to check this out, it is a one-way trip for your vault. Your vault will be converted over to the new format, which is going to be the one used in H3 1.0. And so just be aware that if you do that, unless you completely back up your vault ahead of time and revert it manually, you will not have access to your vault once you switch over to experimental if you go back to the main branch. So fair warning, but this will all be moot fairly soon. Our goal is to basically come out of experimental on July 4th. And so we'll all finally be on the big main branch together, and modders will be able to finish migrating things up to it. And we can all just take a big exhale and a rest. So anywho, I hope this is interesting and exciting, and those of you who get into authoring take and hold characters, if you run into any problems, if you need some advice on that, feel free to ping us through the Discord, and our goal is to basically put together a bunch of sort of tutorials on how to do this stuff. It's complicated. If you always wondered how hard is it to make a take and hold character, it is hard. There's a lot of data. We've made it way easier to make that now than editing like a JSON file manually, but it's just a lot of design decisions. It's a lot of careful decision making. And so we're going to eventually have some material to help you learn how to do that. And for the rest of you, obviously, as folks figure out how to use it to make custom stuff, I look forward to hearing how you all enjoy each other's creations. So anywho, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you soon. Peace.